All right. So we're ready for action. And Fabian Reed, who looked a little bit heavy in that first appearance off the bench in the first game we saw him, has worked himself into the starting 11 for Arnott Gardens. Here's Neil, their man of the match in their previous contest, and his pass is too long for Kimoy slowly. Clennon goes down and holding his head. The referee may stop the play, and she's had a look and she stopped the play to get Andre Clennon some treatment. So this is the clash going up, and yeah, Gerald Neal, his forehead crashing into the head, the top of the head of Andre Clennon.
Neil didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
Look at him.
The striker doing the blood search again, but he's fine. And he can continue. Didn't even need treatment. Earl Simpson getting his laces done. And he gives Crystal Sobers the ball. And she will initiate the drop ball restart. There's Eric Rademakers, the assistant coach for Arnott Gardens. Paul Teagat Davis is the Arnott Gardens head coach, but administrative rules means he can't be with the team on match days inside this venue. Reed, can he turn? Didn't need to. Cephas, around one challenge, and Cephas with the left foot. It's long. Arboin chasing it. Slowly offers him assistance. All the way back to Neil. Arboin, well, Guthrie fouled by Vishnul Harris. So Vishnul Harris, a man who's won the Premier League with Arnott Gardens under Jerome Waite, and at his vest was, and there wasn't any other midfielder in the Premier League like Vishnul Harris. And there's Big Andrew Price. They called him the B-52 bomber back in his days. When Boys Town won the Premier League in 1989, he was on the roster, but he was injured, didn't play. Willis spears this free kick into the box. It's Reed! He finds it back in the net early. One touch to control, the other to strike, and just like that, in the 3rd minute, Fabian Reed, Parker Blacks, that's his nickname, has parked his shot into the back
36
of Dennis Taylor's net.
Yeah, been around a long time, Fabian Reed. 54th goal of his Premier League career. First of the season though, lovely touch to control it by Fabian Reed, and that's why he's brought in the quality, his experience. Arboin has been asked to play a wide role today, and Fabian Reed in the central role, most experienced man, wears the number 13, opened up his body in a beautiful manner, and then placed that into the far post. There would have been no chance for Dennis Taylor.
So an early setback for Andrew Price and his Humberland team. For only less than 3 minutes, and they find themselves down. Here's Reed to Guthrie. Guthrie closed down quickly. This is Harris, forward for Clennon. Simpson racing him. Clennon stronger, but Simpson had position and used that superior position to knock it out for a throw. Simpson stronger than Clennon in that challenge, and he finds Neil. Willis playing just a couple strides ahead of his central defenders. Slowly under pressure, finds Willis, but Vanzi stole in, and Vanzi was fouled by Willis. So the free kick, this is the replay of that. Vanzi just nipped it away from Willis and was fouled by the tall man for Arnott Gardens. Roden is interested in this free kick, but we know that dead balls where Humberland is concerned at the preserve of Andrew Vanzi, and just like that he abandons it and gives it to Roden. That's Eric Rademakers, his team, 1-0 up. The Dutchman. So Harji-Barji over on that far side of the 18-yard box, and Crystal Sobers and her assistant keeping an eagle eye on proceedings. She's calling Neil, who's having a conversation, let's put it no more serious than that, with Kevon Reed. So Roden with this free kick for Humberland, who are behind in this final match of match week 3 of the Jamaica Premier League. Roden curls it into the space, and Clennon, it missed him, missed Dallas near side, and missed Clennon at the back post, who was arriving late. Good shape on that from Roden. He just needed a touch, didn't get it.
Nice delivery. Great trajectory, good pace behind it. Just eluded everybody in a green shirt.
Simpson takes forever to walk over to retrieve that ball for his goalkeeper, William Price. Now Simpson has it in play to Johnson. Looking for Cephas, but met on that far side by O'Dane Murray. Johnson forward to Reed. Nice chest control, and he tries to bring Arboyne into play. Can he get there, Arboyne?
No way. He's quick, but not that quick.
Yeah.
Good idea from Reed. Arboyne, always a willing runner.
Yep. Seems to be looking at using a lot of beard wax, Kimani Arboyne, to get the James Harden look down pat. He's on his way, Kimani Arboyne. Meanwhile, veteran in the Humberland backline, number 3 Xavier Virgo, formerly of Boys Town. At his best, one of the best crosses of the football from his usual right back position. Not playing right back today, he's in the back all right, but centre back. He's listed at for Humberland, joining the Humberland project along with his longtime coach and collaborator Andrew Price. Cephas hounded out, but unfairly so. A combination of Murray and Clennon robbing the Arnett Lawrence. But in fact, Cephas committed the foul. As we look at Cornelia Digger Thompson, Premier League winning captain with Arnett Lawrence, who's also joined the Humberland project. And I've never seen him with this hair. Well, I never saw him with this hairstyle in his playing days. But he has time to growing his hair and growing his wealth. Digger Thompson. Roden with this free kick for Humberland. 6 men in green shirts to aim for. Make that 7. The cross comes in, and Guthrie got there, headed it off his colleague Earl Simpson. Humberland throw. And trying to make the cross there was Javane Thompson. He wins a corner. Replay of Roden's effort. Back to live action. Reed, Virgo gets there. Marlon Martin bundled over in midfield by Andrew Vans, who says, no referee, that was a shoulder to shoulder. No, Andrew, that was shoulder to back. Your shoulder to Martin's back. That's why it's a free kick. Well, it was shoulder to shoulder, for sure. Martin was unbalanced, so no way he could have stood his ground. Arboyne keeps it in to Willis. Parker Blacks gives him the run. That's Fabian Reed. This is Guthrie. Guthrie through. And Reed didn't read that pass. Fabian didn't.
That pass was never on. Even if you read it, the angle was wrong.
So that pass was in Braille.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Ajuma Johnson under pressure turns away from Ajuma Johnson. Midfield to Guthrie. The pass goes astray, and the hard-working Dallas gets across and plays in Thompson. Thompson skips away from one challenge to Visional Harris. Harris drives. Harris to Dallas! Humberland find the equalizer! And the magic man again, Visional Harris, just walked around the Ireland girls defender as if he wasn't there. And then did the sensible thing, could have gone for the shot, but he just played Dallas into his left. And Dallas found the back of the net via the goalkeeper's right-hand post. This is the play once again. Thompson into Harris. Look at Harris. Walks by Earl Simpson. Plays Dallas. Dallas's effort wasn't the best shot, Chris. Wasn't the cleanest struck shot. But guess what? It's effective. It scores.
It was on target. Second of the season for Dallas. Well played by Vanzi. And as we spoke about his experience and so on, but also they added the little acceleration from Javane Thompson. That's what he brings to this Humber Lions lineup. And the celebration as well from Dallas. 2 on the season for him. And yeah.
Our prediction needs to do a compilation because he has enough material to work with. who has done the best somersault goal celebration? Because we have some candidates. We saw Ladrick Horton go through a series of them yesterday. We've seen Dallas now. And there was somebody else who did it early season. Was it Warner Brown? It may have been Warner Brown for you. Warner Brown from Tivoli, yes. I think in the
Well, there's
first
someone
game.
else then, because myself and you, this was the first game we have actually done with Warner Brown, so there was another game before. Might have been the
Tougher Roy Bygrave, that's the one.
Yes.
Not Warner Brown.
Bygrave.
Yeah. So we're going to have that competition, viewers. We can assure you of that. But they say Chickenback is leading. In case you don't know who Chickenback is, that's Ladrick Horton, the Mobile United man. Anyway, back to live action. Simpson, who was made to look like a mug by Visional Harris, shouldn't feel bad. Many players have that feeling in Premier League football as Roden heads back to his keeper, Dennis Taylor, and takes it back. Roden. Humberland have their tails up. Vanzi into the path of Dallas. Dallas will run all day. But even if he ran until Sunday, he wouldn't catch that and keep it in play. Slowly, with this throw for Arnett Gardens. Arboy under pressure. Oh, and in trying to make the fancy move to effect the pass, knocks it outside for a touch to throw to Humberland. This is Roden. That's Mr. Tingle's camera, the Rasta man. Forward to Clennon, and Clennon can't control it. Into touch. So, into the 12th minute, we've had 2 goals already. Really like this. If you have a competition that's averaging 3 goals per game, then you know the football must be bordering on exciting, at least very interesting, and I like it. I like this Jamaica Premier League so far. Kneel forward to Arboyne. Ooh, heavyweight tackle there from Virgo off the foot of Reed, and the referee Sobers says, yeah, it's a Humberland throw. This is Roden. Shamari. Well, Shamar Roden. There's a Shamari but on the field, but he's Dallas. And there's a Shanari on our production team. She's Ferron. Harris. Under pressure from Guthrie. My director says I'm on fire. Like that doubles I ate late one night in Port of Spain, brought for me by my friend Brent Sancho. It was fire, but it was good. Murray gets in the way of that block from Martin. Handball by Reed, but the referee didn't see it. He goes down holding his knee, Fabian Reed. Play continues. He looks to be in pain, Fabian Reed, but referee Sobers ignoring him for the minute. He's still in the center circle, and Crystal Sobers is now going to summon some attention for Fabian Reed. This looks like a collision of knees. Let me see what happened here, Chris. So this is Roden and Reed, and a clash of knees. Ooh, yeah. Those are always painful.
Yeah. Bone to bone. Unfortunate. Did handle the ball though.
Yes.
Fabian Reed.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why referee Sobers ignored him, saying you tried to con me just now, and then you got caught, and you are pretending as if I should pay you any mind. So, physician, heal thyself is written somewhere in the Bible, and Reed has the ice pack, applying it himself. As we see Willis and Simpson having a press conference, along with the rest of the Arnett Gardens boys. Press conference is now over, no more questions. And Reed will leave the field and return. So Arnett's lead did not last long. Given to them by Fabian Reed. A striker's finish really inside the 18-yard box. First touch to control, second touch to finish, taking Shavani Willis's pass. But then Visional Harris coming back to haunt his former team. And as he did so often in an Arnett Gardens shirt, Harris making the defenders look statuesque. And he just rocked by Ewan Simpson. They call it an old-time shift. Harris gave Simpson. And suddenly he was able to play in Dallas down the left. And Dallas finished off William Price's right-hand post. That's the story of the goals. That's why we're at 1-1. Slowly to Willis. Willis can't go beyond Vanzi. And Harris he goes down holding his knee, asking for something, but it wasn't really convincing. Harris playing in the turf footwear. We've spoken about that, himself and Rohan Richards of the Humberland men and Andrew Vanzi. They don't play in the regular studs like the other players. They opt for the turf. Willis plays Arboin in some space. Arboin slowly gives him the overlapping run, but Arboin comes inside. Oh, beats two men Arboin. Arboin driving into the box. And Xavier and Virgo sensed the danger, the veteran did, and came across to make the interception.
Might have hurt himself in the process.
He's like that though, Chris.
But yeah, Arboin. Yeah.
The point I was making, just like Cody Walsh, you see him at the end of the first over and he looks as if he's going to collapse.
Yeah,
and
the
then
grimace.
30 hours later, 30 hours later, he's still playing. These are the turf boots that Vanzi, Harris, and Richards of the Humberland players fancy. So this is Arboin, one player beaten, second one beaten, driving into the box, a third one beaten, and then look at Virgo come across.
And I can tell you, Chris Taylor would be wearing one of those, like...
Yes, you would be.
Yeah, like Visional Harris as well. Don't believe in the studs on this surface. So maybe the players are learning slowly but surely.
Yes, there are some ambassadors.
Let's see how it works out.
Dennis Taylor collects. And to be fair...
Maybe their freedom of injuries will prove to the others that that's the way to go.
Yes, indeed. And to be fair, viewers, Chris Taylor at his best could make a couple of these Premier League squads. And I'm not saying that the worst squads, because no, at his best, he could make the roster of several of these teams. Thompson to Vanzi, back to Thompson, trying to drag it around Marlon Martin. Did so, but Martin blocked him, and referee Sobers alert to the infringement and gives a free kick to Humberland in a dangerous position. And I say dangerous because Vanzi is deadly from free kick territory, and so too is Visional Harris. This is the play. Look at Thompson just taking it around Martin, and Martin ensuring that the ball passes, but the man doesn't.
Good area here for Humber Lions.
So who's your candidate from here, Chris? Is it Vanzi, or is it Roden, who seems to take an interest in as the left footer?
I like the left footer from this angle.
That settles it then.
But you know I'm
Vanzi
biased.
will take it. 21 yards according to our Piero software.
The skipper is setting it up for himself. Do think it fancies the left footer, but
yes.
Vanzi.
He's calling dibs. He's the senior man. Andrew Vanzi! Price equal to it. On target, firmly struck, not powerfully struck, and not difficult for Price to turn that beyond his post.
Comfortable, difficult angle for Vanzi, and yeah, Price had it covered. Just did the safe thing and push it behind for a corner.
Meanwhile, Roden uncontested for this corner kick. Curls it in, going for the back post. Clennon, he fell as he was about to spring, perhaps tripped by his own player, and he gives Gregory Lewis the look of disgust, asking him, why don't you look out of your eyes, boy? Just as Clennon was about to rise to attack that ball, he tripped over his teammate's feet. That's why he's upset.
Andre Clennon knows out Arnett Gardens very well. A big chunk of his career was there. Andre Clennon, some 32 years of age now. The Humberland number 14.
Johnson forward to Arbonne was switched flanks. Cephas, we have only called his name once, the Arnett Gardens forward, who's as fast as light. He's on this near side, right. So we called his name once when he was on the left side, but haven't had reason to call it ever since. So he's come to this right side to find some joy.
Yeah, both himself and Arboin have switched. We see that from time to time. It didn't happen in the second half of their last game because they had so much good things going for them. So they stuck to their guns. Of course, in that match, Arboin was playing through the center. But because Fabian Reid is here, he's been pushed wide. Maybe it makes sense as well because Arboin is always a willing runner, tireless worker, almost clinical finisher, and that's certainly something that Fabian Reid has.
Seems to turn it over to Thompson. Thompson for Humberland. Oh, nice pass to Dallas. Dallas waiting on him to give him the support, and he gets the support from Thompson. Murray on the overlap. Thompson needs some support though. Not sure what he wants to do just yet. Was being hounded by Slowly. Back to Vanzi. Humberland in charge of this game, it would seem, in terms of dictating play. Oh, Visional Harris kept it alive, trying to backheel it into the path of Clennon. Kept it in, but Not enough power. That's Andrew Price barking instructions at his boys. And Eric Rademaker's more studied, but both men, the thought process would be the same. What can I do to help my team from the bench? Neat turn by Guthrie to get away from Clennon. Over to Simpson. All the way to a Juma Johnson. Harboyne wanted it to feet. It had gone out, crept out just.
Rademaker's in his time a very useful wing back in the Dutch second division. A good player as well, and he was certainly like a player like Harboyne, players who are willing to run a lot and likes when the ball is utilized a lot, spread across the field.
Ball into the path of Javane Thompson. Earl Simpson, long legs, closed at the distance. 2 of his strides were 5 of Javane Thompson's. And Simpson reached there in time. Man down for Humberland. Looks to be Thompson. But play continues. The 4th official now signaling to Crystal Sobers that there's a problem, and she has called a halt to proceedings. So Javane Thompson down for the moment. In their last 8 Premier League games, Arnott Gardens, dating back to August 2 last year, they've won 2, lost 4 and drawn 2, scoring 9 goals and conceding 12 in that sequence. So not the best 8-game stretch for them at all, the 5-time champions. While Humberland, in their last 8 Premier League games since July 25 last year, they've won 2, lost 5 and drawn 1, scoring 11 and conceding 18. So both teams will look at their most recent record against all comers and agree that not the best, not required, not up to standard.
Arnott Gardens did edge it in 2021 with a 2-1 victory.
Back to live action. Thompson back up and running, indicating to the referee that he wants to re-enter the pitch, and she's yet to acknowledge him. Simpson for Arnott Gardens in the back. To Neil. To Martin. To Slowly. Back to Neil. Simpson once again. Johnson. Johnson doesn't like his passing options. Uses Willis now. Willis goes long into the direction of Cephas, but Roden was there. Slowly turns away from Dallas. Back to centre-back Gerald Neal. Forward to Cephas now. He wants to run Cephas, and his turn was too close to the line. Meanwhile, Roden has a problem holding the left calf, and Virgo signaling to the bench that treatment is needed for their number 8. He's off the pitch, so... And that's what Reid is saying. Reid is saying, well, he's off the pitch. Why do we have to wait for him to be treated? And the same question being asked by Crystal Sobers. What are you going to do? Are you going to throw it, or are you going to stay outside and take treatment? Roden is back up. Maybe a touch of cramp, because he's back up quickly, the young man. Forward to Clennon. Clennon lost 2 headers, but the ball works to his teammate Dallas. Lewis. Quick pass to Vanzi. Vanzi across to Murray. Murray around 1 challenge. Back to him from Vanzi. Still Murray. Harboyne slides back and does a good job. Kimani Harboyne. Forward to Black, to Parker Black's Reid. Nice turn by Reid. Willis. Cephas in space and calls him for it. Doesn't go there, does Willis. Still Shivani Willis. Shares it with Marlon Martin. Slowly. Martin. Willis. Sold a bit short, but gets there ahead of Gregory Lewis and plays in Guthrie. Nice flick by Reid into Guthrie's path, but Xavier and Virgo read it. And Guthrie battling with Javane Thompson and sends a Juma Johnson. The cross is early. And Roden doing his job at left back, ensuring that Cephas doesn't get in to attack his goalkeeper.
Nice early ball by Ajuma Johnson, talented left boot. Just a bit too deep in the end, but as I said, getting it in early before Humble Lion were able to set themselves and properly organise, and hence winning the corner.
Yep. Ajuma Johnson has come to this near side to take the corner left-footed. And he spears it in. The two fists of Dennis Taylor connects with the ball, and it's behind for a goal kick, says the assistant referee. Yeah. There is a particular rivalry between Humble Lion and Hornet Gardens, and some people roll their eyes when I say this, but it is true that it also the rivalry fueled by the genesis of both these teams. There's Andrew Price, the Humble Lion coach. Ball finds itself to a Juma. Well, Clennon wins it for Humble Lion. Outside to Thompson, who's seen a lot of the ball, drives by Earl Simpson, but falls and gives up possession. Arboin does the same. Vanzi out-battled though, so Guthrie for Hornet Gardens. Dallas got in the way of the pass intended for Cephas, and Virgo got there before Reed. Slowly to Cephas. Dallas back to Roden. Humble Lion win possession, and now Vishnul Harris, the master of time and the space at his best. In the Hornet Gardens shirt, trying to rediscover those days in Humble Lion gear. This is Kevon Reed. Reed to Vanzi. All the way back to Xavier and Virgo. Being closed down by Marlon Martin, so he has to hurry and looks to hit Murray. Arboin matching him for pace though. 21 versus 12. And 21 wins. So here's the pass by Gregory Lewis, intended for Clennon, and those two haven't been seeing eye to eye so far this afternoon, Gregory Lewis and Andre Clennon. But to be fair to Clennon, he apologized just now because he recognized that it was he who didn't run in the right channel or along the right line. Murray wins it for Humble Lion. Vanzi goes down hoping to get a free kick, and he does. Quickly taken. Thompson into the box. Around Simpson. Thompson! Sharp save by William Price at his near post. Good play by Javane Thompson. And Earl Simpson has been victimized by a couple of the Humble Lion forwards so far. Javane Thompson, the latest to do so. Look at this quick free kick. Was that legal, Chris? He was on the floor when he took it.
I think it was excellent kick.
Crystal Sobers had clear sight of it and she didn't call it back. So, well within his right on the floor to play that pass, Andrew Vanzi. Dallas with this corner kick for Humble Lion. Dallas once again. Guthrie, Johnson, Willis to Arboin. He sends him running in space now. Kimani Arboin. 4 Hornet Gardens men supporting him. This is Reed. Fabian Reed, first touch. Fabian Reed is blocked by Dennis Taylor. Good save by the Humble Lion goalkeeper. It's a corner. So Arboin finding Reed. Nice pace this ball played into, and the Dennis Taylor just made himself big and effected the save with his chest. Johnson for Hornet Gardens. Burst of pace took him beyond Murray, but Roden was in the way. And William Price, that sharp save to his left just now. And then Dennis Taylor when the ball went up the other side of the field. A sharp save from Fabian Reed, so the goalkeepers earning their corner. Guthrie, the Hornet Gardens skipper, to Willis. To Slowly, had to wait for Slowly. Slowly got there, fast. Slowly into the box. And Xavier and Virgo came off his shin and behind for a corner. So this is Slowly to Cephas. Cephas with one to Beach. Works down to the right, the cross comes in! And turning it away was Gregory Lewis. Vital interception, the ball comes back and Taylor again gather as the rain for the first time this afternoon, coming down with real intensity. And our commentary point being fenced in. This is Cephas's cross, and Gregory Lewis, good job he was there because Earl Simpson was waiting. Dallas was fouled, said the referee Crystal Sobers.
Yeah, wild challenge by Slowly. Studs raised and high as well. As you mentioned earlier, George, always a tense battle between these two as we see some martial arts again. 33 times these teams have met. Arnett have won 14, Humble Lion have won 10, and 9 draws.
Yeah, good picture this for the viewers to see how the rain is lashing down. Guthrie forward. Roden beat Reed to it. Murray further forward for Humble Lion, and Simpson coming through the back of Kevin Reed, and it's a clash of heads.
Yeah, another clash of heads. We've seen that a couple times today. There it is. Ooh. More of a glancing blow, so rather than a full-blooded head contact. So hopefully they'll be okay.
Yeah, as we get this unplanned break, hope both players are okay in a jiffy. But yeah, they're at the root of these two teams. Their genesis steeped in Jamaica's political history. And that has given a particular edge to this rivalry. Humble Lion, of course, founding president and the man who still runs it, Lester Mike Henry, former Minister of Transport in Jamaica. And this is the first goal. Reed, one touch, second touch, a shot. Shavani Willis with the free kick. And it lands right at the feet of the right man for Arnett Gardens. Fabian Reed gets the job done, and then Vishnul Harris does brilliantly well, and Shamari Dallas scuffed his shot, but helped out by the right hand upright. And then he showed us his version of the somersault. And then Vanzi with this free kick that Price turned away. And then Vanzi would look at this quick thinking from the free kick. Look, plays in Javane Thompson around Earl Simpson, and his shot required a sharp save low down from William Price, and then Arboin frees Fabian Reed, and look at Dennis Taylor make himself big, and his chest getting in the way. Back to live pictures. Slowly trying to find Martin. There's the rain really lashing down here at the UEJFF Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence. Dallas in possession now. Forward to Clennon for Harris. Vishnul Harris looking for passing options. Can't find Clennon though. Willis. And Roden had to get there, because if he didn't, Cephas would have had an open invitation to gallop into acres of space. And that would have proved dangerous for Humble Lion. Slowly forward, Xavier and Virgo. Back to goalkeeper Dennis Taylor. Taylor forward. The header won in midfield by Willis. Virgo once again asking Dallas to chase. Dallas can get there. Needs help though. Finds Vanzi. Vanzi into the path of Clennon. Clennon. A pass to Dallas. Clennon runs back to the penalty spot. This is Vanzi. He wanted a touch but couldn't get one because Guthrie was on the premises and he towed it away. And so Arnett Gardens can transition into attack. Arboin into space for Cephas. He's a good cross from him. Ronaldo Cephas puts it in. And too long for Arboin. Trying to get on the other end. Juma Johnson though, an early cross. As we see Dennis Taylor in possession for Humble Lion. And there's a man down, Gregory Lewis. Well, not Lewis. It looks as if Kevin Reed is the man needing treatment. So this is Clennon into the path of Dallas. Dallas is cross.
Not sure what Clennon was trying to do, but yeah, good working of the ball by Humberland yet again. That initial move by Clennon, I don't think he was looking to pass the ball out wide. I think his touch was just heavy and it took him out of his path. But yeah, end-to-end action, because resulting from that was the opportunity for Arnett Gardens. The ball was put into the box from Ajuma Johnson, and before him from Ronaldo Cephas.
Yeah, it looks as if Kevin Reid has the problem for Humberland as we look at the Arnett Gardens assistant coach, Eric Rademacher. He's taken charge of all 3 of their games in the competition so far. And Reid is now back up for Humberland, leaving the field on his own steam. That's good to see. So the cameras getting the rain cloaks. Have to protect man and machine. And Andrew Price has donned, people would call it a rain cloak. I'm going to call it an anorak that he's wearing. And yeah, in this time when you can't distinguish between the flu and COVID, nobody wants to have to distinguish. Vanzi sends this long. Clennon flicks it. Wanted to put it in the direction of Thompson, but didn't go far. Kevin Reid back to Taylor in goal for Humberland. Taylor's kick, looking for Dallas, but comes to Neal, into midfield to Willis for Arnett Gardens. Slowly, back to Neal. The big switch is on, and Arboin was just creeping into the box, having gotten away from Murray. But Taylor was always favored to get there. 37th minute, 38th minute now. Arnett Gardens winning the Premier League in their first full season. No team in Jamaica's top flight history has ever done that. So people love talking about records that will never be broken. That's one that never will be broken. They'll be equal. So on the turf, the all-purpose shoes, on this kind of surface, fine. In the rain, may be a problem. But let's see.
Still does give a good grip, because if you look at the bottom of them, they are pimpled.
Yeah,
and depending on the boot, it may have a longer pimple.
Were I playing in this league, rain or shine, I'd be wearing one of those.
No, for sure.
So
Yeah. I'm not going for the pegs on this surface.
Here's Murray. Ball blocked by Arboin. We tried to keep it in, but only succeeds in knocking it behind for a goal kick. Cephas frustrated, telling them to look at him. That's what he said to his midfield just now. Apparently they're not playing to him enough, and
he hasn't seen it
frustrated.
Much.
Yeah,
he really hasn't seen it much, Cephas. It's hardly come wide. They've been a bit too narrow, Arnett Gardens. You did mention their record, and wow, 45 years now that's been standing. 1977, right?
Correct.
Yeah. All records are made to be broken. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that one can't be broken. It can only be equaled, unless there's a club who's gonna exist after 6 months and win the Premier League title, or 3 months. But yeah, you can only equal that record. Yeah. In fact, the Premier League started in 1973, and Santos reeled off 4 consecutive victories, and their run was stopped by Arnett Gardens in Arnett Gardens' first season, and then Santos regained it. So Arnett disrupted what could have been 6 straight for Santos, turned into 4 straight plus 1.
And that's been it for Santos.
Yeah. Fabian Reid just rubbing the right hamstring there. Good camera work there, team, to catch him doing that again. And I'm wondering if the veteran may have a problem, but let's see as this goes on. The rain has left us for the minute, and we can remove the blinders from the commentary point in short order, I'm pleased to announce. I.e. beg my director. Simpson forward to Arboin works around 2 challenges and is fouled by Gregory Lewis. Thundering challenge there, but the referee says no foul. Crystal Sobers was right there, and she gives Shavani Willis a yellow card because he was saying the same thing I was saying, and she's reminding him, young man, I am in charge of this football game, not you. You don't officiate, you play. And Lewis caught all ball, but he went in hard, but he caught all ball. And Sobers were saying this is not a free kick.
Through though, so I guess he couldn't pull his foot out of it. But yeah. Willis with a yellow card. JC old boy.
Arboin to Reed. Reed wins it. Plays Guthrie, his captain. Guthrie under pressure, being closed down by Dallas. Dallas did ever so well. Cephas runs back though and does even better. Guthrie. Back to Martin. Arboin wants it wide, but it doesn't come so far because Martin's effort lacked power. Johnson breaking forward for Arnett Gardens, and another sliding challenge, another hard challenge from Gregory Lewis. He's enjoying himself out there.
And Harrison and Clennon just not on the same page at all. And they're quarreling about it, the two senior men. Ended up colliding. And that will be a corner.
So corner comes in. Willis. Handball. Penalty, says Strobers. Andrew Vanzi, the man who had his arm in the way. Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Gregory Lewis is down. But the more important thing is that a penalty has been awarded to Arnett Gardens. And the assistant referee is already taking up his position for penalty kicks. And look at this. Willis is shot and hits the arm of, actually it was Gregory Lewis. I thought it was Vanzi, but Gregory Lewis, the offender, who may be trying to con the referee by saying he was injured, but she's checking on him now. But she's saying, well, even when you get up, your team will still have to deal with a penalty. Fair call? Right call?
Yeah, and she's not even paying them much mind either. Lots of protests. Here it is.
Look at his feet. So he's inside the box, no doubt. And yeah, I've seen those given all the time, so can't complain about that.
Feet might have been inside, but where's the arm? The arm is what you'd have to
for sure, the left foot was inside because that's the foot that he sprang from, he launched from. So yeah, and when it hit him, his body was in the box. So there's no doubt he was inside the box.
Well, his feet were inside, but the critical thing is where his arm was, because it, as you know, it's where the ball makes contact. So if the arm is outside, just like with a goalkeeper, if his legs are in but the arm is out, then it's a problem. But yeah.
Reed has the ball as his baby, cradling it. Looks as if he'll take it. Gerald Neal is giving him a pep talk.
Question to you though, George. I mean, at that distance, what more do you think he could have done in terms of his arms? I mean, it's very difficult for...
If you notice what I said, I said I've seen those given.
Right.
I never agree with them.
Yeah. Because he didn't really spread himself arm-wise.
To make himself bigger.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, difficult.
It's one of those maybe 50-50 ones.
Yeah.
And he was close as well. It's not as if he was far away and could have adjusted.
Yeah.
And that is usually what's taken into consideration from an officiating perspective as well. The distance. Could he have adjusted his body?
She's flashed a yellow card at Crystal Sobers. Looks as if Vanzi has talked himself into the book, the Humberland skipper. And he looks really upset, Vanzi. Yeah. He's gone into the book.
He's still talking to the experienced midfielder.
And Virgo, this is the experience now, Virgo, the old man of the Humberland team, just walking around, giving high fives. Forget this, lads. Let's leave the rest to Dennis Taylor and focus on the after the penalty. So good to see Xavier Virgo diffusing the situation, calming down his teammates as...
Is that going to change at this point?
For sure it won't. So it's all up to Dennis Taylor now. Dennis Taylor versus Fabian Reed from 12 yards. Reed opened the scoring in this game What does he do? Where does he go? Left or right? Fabian Reed versus Dennis Taylor in the 45th minute. Reed comes. Stutter step, and he rolls it into the right-hand corner, out of Dennis Taylor's reach. 2-1 to Arnott Gardens. Randy Makers, the coach assistant, still has his arms folded, wearing the look of a man who isn't that impressed, but his team have the lead. Another angle, the stutter step, and yeah, out of the keeper's reach.
Made sure to freeze Taylor between the sticks, Reed. That was a stutter step, and just as he froze him, then he hurried to take the kick. Squeeze it into the far corner. That wasn't going to be saved. A brace on the day. Goals number 54 and 55 in his Premier League career.
The Humberland boys are really upset. Just saw Andre Clennon arguing about the call still, as slowly takes a shot to the face in a collision with Dallas. No argument that Dallas did anything illegal. It's just an accident and a coming together. The referee called the medics, but Willis and the Arnott Gardens boy says, no need for it. Meanwhile, it's a Humberland throw. Harris now in space. Harris's first touch is good. Harris with the cross that William Price hangs on to. We have quite a bit of stoppage time left. Enough time for Humberland to score or for Arnott Gardens to score again. Johnson goes down and fouled, says the assistant referee on the far side. The referee concurs.
Needless from Clennon again, just losing a bit of his composure, Andre Clennon, and he's been at 6s and 7s with even his teammates throughout this encounter.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on the same wavelength at all.
No.
Himself and Harris have been at it, colliding and then quarreling with each other.
Actually, Gregory Lewis that.
Yeah,
Gregory Lewis, yeah. So you're all right. Needs to take, as the former Speaker of the British House of Commons, John Burkow would say, needs to take a medicament. That's Andrew Price, lining up his halftime team talk. And perhaps a tactical tweak or two, as his team needs to get back. They haven't played badly. This is Roden into the path of Harris with a good-looking pass. Harris back to Roden, slowly matching him stride for stride though. Roden under pressure, and Cephas robs him. Oh, Cephas robbed by Roden. Harris. The general puts his foot on the ball and slows things down, walks around two challenges and plays it out to Vanzi. Vanzi to Murray, who has to turn back. Murray, the cross comes in. Clennon goes up, Dallas goes up as well. But getting in each other's way.
Another collision for Clennon. Communication not there.
No, nobody called, you don't think. Reed, first touch was good, but not for him, for Gregory Lewis. Retrieving for Humberland. Xavier Virgo over the top. Juma Johnson meets it, comes as far as Vishnul Harris. To Clennon. Chest trap is clean. Trying to get Vanzi in, but Gerald Neal cleared. Juma Johnson fouled by Xavier Virgo and takes exception to the challenge from the veteran. Nice tackle by Gerald Neal, and he berates Javane Thompson for pretending as if he was fouled. That was a clean tackle. And Kunta Kinte Jr. winning that battle. Arboin sprints after this, gets there first. Kimani Arboin leaves it for Johnson. Sliding challenge by Virgo. Javane Thompson for Humberland. Dallas wants it. Too long for Dallas. Slowly had the drop on him, and Dallas fouls him.
Slowly down yet again.
Half time.
Oh well.
Quickly signaled by Crystal Sobers. And the sound of the whistle was the elixir that slowly needed his back up, at least partially. So at halftime in this contest, the game continuing the trend of entertaining games in the Jamaica Premier League. We have a half left. It's halftime. 2-1 Arnott Gardens leading Humberland. 2 goals from Fabian Parker Blacks Reed for the Junglists. And Shamari Dallas responding for Humberland. We'll have much more after these. Back to live action. Humberland. Just looking at the players on the park. They're working with the same 11 that began the game, and we're back underway. We're going the back. Lewis forward to Thompson. Ajuma Johnson has the step on him though. And it was Long trying to find Reed, beaten by Kevon Reed, so the two Reeds clash. And the Humberland Reed gets there first.
That's been the route for Humberland when they look to go forward, as we said. 22% on that right-hand side where Javane Thompson is. Looking to use his pace and trickery to then get the ball into the box and try and find the likes of Clennon.
Guthrie forward. Dennis Taylor would catch this all day. Ronaldo Cephas was complaining at one point in the first half for Arnett Gardens that his teammates weren't looking at him, so he was saying effectively that I was making the runs, and because you're not looking at me, you're not seeing that I'm free. Let's see if they correct that.
Hasn't got much more service yet.
Yeah. Reed goes down and Gregory Lewis says no, saying that Reed was grabbing him, but he gives up the free kick. Gregory Lewis, the man who gave up the penalty with that handball, trying to protect himself. Gregory Lewis, referee Sobers deeming that his hand prevented the ball from continuing on its path from Willis's foot towards goal, and by virtue of that she was obliged to award the penalty, from which Fabian Reed made no mistake.
That one is always good, always a tough one. Both officials and players.
Yeah. Willis interested, so too is Guthrie, the Arnett Gardens skipper. Guthrie curls it towards goal. It takes a deflection and over Dennis Taylor's goal. It's a corner to Arnett Gardens.
Not getting enough height, Guthrie. Dipping after the deflection, but comfortably over the bar.
Cephas.
Important for both teams to start the second half with the same level of intensity. You don't want to get complacent.
Was met at the near post by Gerald Neal. He couldn't direct it goalwards. Kevin Reed in the back for Humberland, the Clarendon team. Forward to Johnson. Well, Johnson met it. Wasn't meant for him. Thompson's touch finds its way to Dallas. Dallas spreads it now to Vishnul Harris for Humberland. And his pass for Clennon had too much on it. The midfield creator-in-chief trying to link up with the striker. Not on that occasion, though. Old habits die hard. It's the usual thing for commentators to say Vishnul Harris for Arnett Gardens. And when Vishnul Harris is playing against Arnett Gardens, that temptation is also strong. Anyway, Johnson into space, plays it for Reed. It had too much on it, and Chris Taylor's criticism will ring true again, because he's been complaining that the weight of pass has just been wrong, especially in those wide areas. Players really getting it right, and Ajuma Johnson proving that argument right yet again. Earl Simpson fights off Javane Thompson, and he's shocked to learn that he's being penalized for the infringement, the tall man. Well, the referee, yeah, she concurs with her assistant that it is a Humberland free kick. And Simpson can't believe it.
Yeah. At first I thought he earned it, only to find out that he conceded it. Bit of a soft call there.
Thompson with this free kick will whip it right-footed. Javane Thompson goes to the back post. Price blocks it out of the air. The afternoon sky. The sun is with us, so the weather has been Jekyll and Hyde with us. When we were children, they said rain and sun together was Satan and his wife having a domestic dispute. Well, if anybody should have a domestic dispute, it should be Satan and whatever is his wife. Human beings shouldn't be having those things. Anyway, here's Clennon to Harris. Can't trick his way around Willis, but Lewis over the top clips it nicely into the path of Dallas. Dallas's first touch just gives slowly the chance to nip in and defect the clearance. Here's Vanzi for Humberland though. Back to Roden. Back to his skipper, Fancy. Murray wants it near side and gets it. Under pressure from Arboin. Lovely play by Murray. Arboin was holding him. And Arboin has won the day, and the referee justifiably giving Murray the free kick.
Yeah. Tried to play the advantage initially, Sobers, referee Sobers, but there was none.
The rain has returned. The drizzle. So it looks as if the domestic dispute is back on. Meanwhile, Humble Lion have this corner kick that Dallas is going to take.
Been disappointed with Clennon's touch and his presence. Yes, it's not been to the level that I know he can play at.
Dallas's pass skews off Jones. Here comes the speedball Arboin. Has space to run into, and he's turned down the Jets Arboin. Looking now for passing options. Finds Reed. Xavier and Virgo hunting him down. These two have fought many battles. Boys thrown out at Gardens over the years. And Reed, does he win the battle? The ball went outside, and the assistant says goal kick. Meanwhile, there's a man down for Arnett Gardens inside the penalty box. Inside the center circle, rather, slowly.
It's that man again.
Yeah, slowly went down. In fact, he was down when referee Sobers whistled for half-time. And he's down early in this contest. Looks to be a left ankle injury.
It's the same problem that he was having in the first half with the right ankle, the inside of it.
But looks to be the left this time.
Well, it's both.
Walking with the fluency of a grandpa with bunions on both feet. But he's going to leave the pitch, is he? Slowly? Yes, he is. Slowly making his way. But he's jogging now, so looks as if he'll be fine. Kemoy slowly. Meanwhile, Kevin Reed builds from the back for Humberland to Gregory Lewis now. The sun back out in its glory here at the UWI-JFF Captain Horaceburg Centre. Dallas goes down. Referee Sobers looks at her assistant and he says offside. Crystal Sobers took a long look at her assistant to see what he would signal, and he signaled. So this is the play. Foul is what the assistant signaled, that Dallas fouled his defender.
And probably did. There was a slight push in the back initially, and then he tripped over. Certainly no penalty though, so I'm glad that call wasn't made.
Or Cephas, who found himself in a strange position.
Yeah, Dallas made the most of it with the trip and fall and somersault and whatever else he did, but he initially put his hand on the back of the Arnett Gardens man and then flipped over. So
yeah, Cephas doing a centre-back's work. Dallas closing him down. Cephas competent in the end. Willis under pressure, plays it to Martin, back to, pass is poor from Marlon Martin, but he makes a crucial interception, but he fouls Andrew Vanzi, and the referee Sobers is going to the pocket, and Marlon Martin is going to have his name taken, and yes he does. Rubs his head as he walks away. That was poor. Two poor plays from him. The poor pass to Willis, and then look at this tackle. Only ankle he got there. Only ankle.
It was a 3-yard pass, George. I mean, why? How could you overplay a pass like that? It was right there, so easy. Just a gentle touch. And it was well overweighted.
Well, Vanzi taking a few deep breaths, poised to launch this towards William Price's goal, who's has his geometry set out and is lining up his 5-man wall. He's comfortable with it now.
Yeah, this is a better angle than the last one Vanzi looked to take from. This one is a lot more central, so he might be able to do something.
Andrew Vanzi versus William Price. Vanzi! Didn't miss by much. He turns away and looks to the heavens. The Humberland veteran didn't miss by much at all.
Not a bad attempt. This angle suited him. Always knew he was going to go to the near post, if you want to call it. And to Price's left. And just off. 25 goals in his Premier League career. Andrew Vanzi. 5 goals last season.
Yeah.
It was a good one for him from midfield.
Here's the thing now. Referee Sobers was having words with Kevin Reed And then he flashed her off, and she decided that she was going to book him. Andrew Vanzi put hands on her. So she was telling him, "You don't touch me, I'm the referee." And she's now talking to Kevin Reed. And you know what? Vanzi's intervention was crucial here, because she was going to the pocket until Vanzi held on to her. And she may have said, "You know what? Not going to book him. Let me just give them a lecture." Lucky boy, Kevin Reed. Very lucky boy. Andrew Vanzi, the captain's intervention proving crucial here, saving his teammate from a yellow card. And Vanzi comes back to head back. Vishnul Harris to Thompson. Forward to Clennon. Into the path of Thompson. Under pressure from, he's shielded outside or shepherded outside by Earl Simpson. Illegally so with a forearm. And it's a quick free kick taken by Thompson. So this is what happened. So look at what he does. She was going to book him right here, and look at Vanzi. And then she said, yeah, don't touch me, don't touch me. Talk to me, don't touch me. And yeah, when you're the captain, you can get away with a few things. Meanwhile, Vanzi's down. Also down is Earl Simpson. A collision between the two.
You won't be doing much talking now, Vanzi.
No.
He did really good to get away from that yellow card initially. Well, get Reed out of the bad books of referee Sobers, and yeah, picked up a few studs as well there.
Simpson is back up and looking none the worse for that collision. Meanwhile, Vanzi is a man with some damaged parts over the years. A lot of Premier League games under his belt. And he says part of the reason why the main reason for him wearing the kind of footwear he does is because of his groin and ankles, which have had his fair share of injuries with the knees and in the groin over the years. So the turf, the all P as we call them in this part of the world, takes some of the strain off his dodgy joints and helps him nurse his muscles through football games. Feeling the pain, Andrew Vanzi, as he leaves the park. Gerald Neal will take this free kick for Arnett Gardens. That's Raddy Makers. His team have their noses in front. The assistant coach of Arnett Gardens, remember, Paul Teagut Davis is the man in charge for the South St. Andrew Club. Lovely turn by Cephas. Wow. And then he jets by Vishnul Harris, who just puts the body on him to slow his progress. And expertly done by Harris. Couldn't match him for pace, but just clever, the veteran. Just closed the space on Cephas. Couldn't get around Harris's frame. With a very extravagant flick and turn by Cephas, and he was gone from one defender. That's what he can do. Hasn't had many chances to show that this afternoon so far. Ajuma Johnson turns in a 240-degree circle and gets away until Clennon robs him. Good work by Clennon. Excellent by Andre Clennon. Back to Murray. Vanzi now. Forward to Dallas. To Roden. Clennon now hopping. Just momentarily. This is Murray, near side. 55% of the ball controlled by Humberland. So the Lions have the Lions' share of possession. That one was too easy. Dallas runs forward, takes possession, and gets tripped. No call. Gerald Neal very upset at Slowly for turning an easy pass rather, into touch under no pressure. And it goes back to centre half Kevin Reed. Reed looking for the long pass. Pops it forward to Price, gets it. And Javane Thompson through the legs of Earl Simpson. It's a goal! Just like that, Humble Lion have equalized once again. Kevin Reed's pass, aiming for Vishnul Harris. Harris settled beneath it. William Price came to claim, but he didn't gather. He didn't get hands to it, but didn't gather it. It fell. Found its way to Javane Thompson, whose effort lacked power, but it was through the legs of Earl Simpson. And this is the replay. Didn't catch it clean in the goalkeeper, didn't take it. And Thompson, yeah, through Simpson's legs for 2-2.
Well, the argument is that Visional Harris jumped into the keeper there. Jumped into the keeper, and maybe he has an argument, Price, because that affected his ability to collect the ball properly. It's not as if he was going for the ball open-ended, Visional Harris. He was backing into the goalkeeper. That might be the one thing that goes against him. Anyhow, the call stands.
Yep. So Visional Harris with 2 assists now. And how Cumberland missed his creativity in the first 2 games, there is no doubt. Nobody argues with anybody who says Visional Harris is a creative player, because that he has been for all of the time he spent as a Premier League player.
Here he is.
There was a time when he was the best midfielder in the Premier League, not so long ago. I'm trying to get back to that level. This is Shivani Willis for Arnett Garns. Sends it over Dennis Taylor's head.
152 appearances in the Premier League for Visional Harris, so he's been around a long time. 29 goals in that time. In fact, between the big 3 of Humberline that's on the park today, over 515 Premier League appearances. Yep. That's a lot of experience.
Yeah, and you saw the experience at play in how he backed into the goalkeeper and gave the referee something to call, gave the referee a decision to make whether you're going to say free kick or allow the play. And she allowed it. Guthrie. Arnett trying to find the lead once again. Too long for Cephas, even he couldn't get there.
And by the way, me saying the big 3, I haven't even included Virgo's numbers. No, that would probably carry it up to maybe about 700.
Closer to 1,000. Meanwhile, Andrew Price, the coach, and O'Neill Bigger Thompson, his assistant, are having an argument with Andrew Vance, their captain. So those 3 men, not sure whose accord is being driven by whom, but it appears as if Price and Thompson are telling Vance one thing and the captain is adamant that it's something else. Anyway, 2-2, everything to play for in this game. A lot of time left for more goals. Guthrie, wide to Cephas, good first touch. We look to run by Roden and he does so, but didn't take the ball with him.
Didn't look to play the ball though. Roden, I think he's lucky to get away with that. That probably should have been a foul. He was playing Cephas the entire time, wasn't playing the ball.
Yep. Fans into the path of Dallas. Dallas takes it on the chest on the run, but Earl Simpson comes across to clean up. Johnson further forward to Arboin. Arboin trying to turn on the line, no space. And Murray closed the door. So Arnett Gardens throw. Just so Vance down again for a moment. The Humberland captain, but back up and running. Reed has been quiet in the second half. Arboin wins another throw. Mind you, he was quiet before his 2 goals.
Yeah, I was about to say, he only needs a moment.
There you go.
He's quiet when it's not coming to him.
Yep.
He does work though, to give him credit.
Yes.
Fabian Reed. He does run the lines very well.
And he's a player who has played, I've seen him play central midfield. I've seen him play on the flanks.
And not the biggest player, not very tall.
But very strong.
Not the biggest frame, but very strong.
Yep.
Strong legs, good center of gravity. And as you said, he runs the lines quite well. He pulls the defenders out of position.
2 changes being lined up by Arnett Gardens, one of them Damari Deacon. But before all that, this free kick that Willis is taking charge of, Crystal Sobers tells him to wait because she sees some hargy-bargy in the box involving Xavier and Virgo and Fabian Reed, both experienced players.
And Gregory Lewis as well. Gregory Lewis is always in the mix. He's had a hard job of trying to manage Reed.
Yep. Fighting for advantage and position. Willis's free kick comes near post and Clennon, just to make sure, turn it behind for a corner.
That was some strikers weren't big by Clennon. Not the cleanest clearance. A man who's played in Finland, Azerbaijan as well.
Yep.
So lots of experience outside of Jamaica for Andre Clennon.
Willis with this corner. Whips it in near post. Clennon again with the knock-in, gets it out. Dallas over his head. And trying to beat Ajuma Johnson on the sprint. No easy feat. Earl Simpson spears this one across, trying to find Gerald Neal, who wins the header. Reed takes it down on the chest, but is eased off it by Kevin Reed. And Guthrie deemed to have fouled Andrew Vanza. Meanwhile, there's double change ready. Shandy James and Damari Deacon are getting ready to come in.
Yeah. Deacon will add some pace, especially in the flank areas. Started the last game, Deacon. We actually thought he had a pretty good game, and then he was replaced. Obviously, he made way for Fabian Reid, and obviously that made sense. Fabian Reid scored 2, has scored 2 so far. So
number 17 is coming out, Roman Guthrie, the captain. And number 11, Shandy James, will replace him. So 17 out for Arnett Gardens, 11 in.
Substitution for Arnett Gardens, number 17, Guthrie.
And it's Willis who will take over the captain's armband.
Yes. James comes in, and then the second change. We'll see one of the wide men, I'm sure. Arboin or Cephas, I'm suspecting. It's 13 actually, Fabian Reid.
Wow. Okay.
So the 2-goal man gets hooked for Damari Deacon.
He hasn't even noticed what's happening. He's surprised, Fabian Reid. He can't believe it. It's a mistake actually, or is it?
No. He's the man being called.
He can't believe the change, Fabian Reid. He wanted to stay on. He wanted the hat-trick, George.
Yeah.
Great to see his hunger at his age.
So the 2-goal man for Arnett Gardens off. He's applauding Damari Deacon as he goes on. So he's not upset at all, Fabian Reid, and he goes up and he high-fives every man on the Arnett Gardens bench and applauds and gives the coach a high five as well. A low five actually, but yeah, you get the idea.
Not upset, just surprised.
Yeah. Not at all. Yeah. Not a CR7 reaction. Thompson's shot is blocked by Shavani Willis. Greg Lewis allows it to bounce and plays Murray. So Kimani Arboin will go to centre forward now, and he'll still have 2 wide men to support him. Deacon on one side and Cephas on the other side. High. Cumberland not warming up anybody yet. But it hit Arboin in an awkward place, and Deacon trying to strip Virgo of that one. Willis forward to Shandy James, looks for support and robbed by Dallas. Looked to be handball by Clennon, but not spotted by the officials, and Ajuma Johnson winning the ball. It's a throw to Humberland that Murray takes quickly. This is Lewis to Vanzi. Vanzi has some time and some space. Vanzi looking for passing options. Back to Lewis. Lewis trying to find Clennon. Clennon was running inside. Lewis played the pass outside. Clennon doesn't even look at Lewis. These two they need to have a man-to-man meeting after the game to work out issues of coordination. It's not happened for those two at all this afternoon. Lewis forward. Harris, perhaps when he just came into the league, would have a chance to chase that. Not these days.
Andrew Price showing a lot of faith in Clennon. I would have thought he would have changed his mind now, because he's not had a good day, Clennon, but I guess his experience is what he still wants on the park, especially with the scoreline as it is. And if he has the legs to keep going, I guess he's working with him, but he really hasn't had a good day.
Johnson, can he get there? Yes, he robs Murray. Ajuma Johnson inside to Arboin. Arboin under pressure. Turns away from Dallas. Dallas's energy is unbelievable, Shamari Dallas. He wears that air of a man who's in a hurry every time. He just runs and runs and runs and runs. The number 29 for Humberland, that's him. Willis. With this free kick for Arnett Gardens, puts it into the mix, and it's longer than everybody. It is. It's a goal kick. So back with us with force here at this UWIJ for Captain Harrisburg Centre of Excellence. We've had all kinds of weather today.
Just a snow missing.
Yes, sir. I was about to say that. And perhaps some hail.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, don't tempt fate, Chris. Don't tempt fate at all. Gregory Lewis and Clennon having an argument again, and Lewis telling Clennon to relax. Those two have had a right battle, and their teammates.
Well,
Clennon takes. Does well this time though.
Lewis
Under
still plays the
pressure
ball to Clennon. No, it was the two combining yet again. So
Yes, sir.
even though you're quarreling, that's, you know, a brush off the back.
Here's Lewis, away from James. Earl Simpson now for Arnett Guards. Oh, too strong. Looking for the Murray Deacon. This is Murray. Johnson. Kevin Reed. Clennon will win this. Yes, he does. Goes down and he's fouled, says the assistant on this near side. The referee agrees. Can imagine some tough tackling between those two at training at Humberland, Gregory Lewis and Andre Clennon. This is how the big striker got fouled, yeah. And Lewis has this free kick. Can he find Clennon? Can he find Harris? Can he find Dallas? Vanzi, all of those men in the box. Lewis's free kick is poor, doesn't beat the Juma Johnson at the near post, at the front post. And Dallas sprints after this, will get it. Shandy James supporting and closing down Cedric Murray. Martin to Deacon. Deacon sets off down this left-hand side. Deacon eating up the ground. Damari Deacon. Can he find Arboyne? Off Xavier and Virgo. Not safe yet. This is Willis. Willis, a round one challenge, and he goes down. Xavier and Virgo saying he did nothing wrong. But Willis very clever there. Just a little toe as he saw Virgo appearing at him quickly to close him down. And went down and then ensured that the referee heard him scream. Yeah, that's a foul.
He did make contact, did step on the toe. And when you're going at that speed, it doesn't take much to bring you down, actually. It's just a clip, but, and as I said, it will be painful because you would have jammed down on the toes. Or as you like to say, the metatarsals.
Yes, Chris, like how you're using up those words, boy. So, we've seen free kick goals from Jameel Hardware. We saw one yesterday. And we saw a cracking one earlier. Harborview, Tariq Ziminis in beating Tivoli. What can Shivani Willis do from this distance? Willis! You can't do that. Poor effort.
Not the kind of range that you want to go for power based on the distance. Needed a lot more finesse from Willis. And Ajuma Johnson in his time, I mean, that angle didn't suit him necessarily as a left footer, but his time at Camperdown, he produced some really good kicks. He has a very talented left foot. As I said, this is the deepest I've ever seen him play Ajuma Johnson.
Yeah, and this is the deepest he's played in his entire Premier League career. Clennon into the path of Harris, and Harris ruining the fact that it had so much on it, the header.
And himself and Clennon now having an argument about it.
Yep.
Well, maybe his feeling is with Clennon's experience and quality, he should have done better.
Yes.
In terms of cushioning.
A cushioned header,
yeah,
yes.
The idea was right, the execution was off, but that's been the story of Clennon today. The
Yeah.
execution just hasn't been there.
So it may be that Clennon is the problem because he's arguing with everybody. Unhappy with everything his teammates are doing to try to either play him in or benefit from his knockdowns. Harris, the back flick. Clennon pushes over Simpson, but no call from the referee. Cephas has come deep to collect, and he's collected. Oh, dragged down by Roden. Granite Gardens bench asking for a free kick. Sober says it's Humberland ball though. The referee. Roden is lining up this throw. Maybe he's aiming for Clennon in the box. It's in that direction. It's for Harris. Neil got a piece of it. Shandy James forward to Arboyne. Arboyne, lovely turn from Virgo and goes down. Virgo knew exactly what he was doing, the veteran.
Well, Virgo has done very well to stay out of the book. He's had quite a few fouls. Nothing nasty from Virgo, but cheeky, as you'd say.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah, it's the kind of fouling that Remember,
It's persistent though.
yeah, remember Gilberto Silva from
Arsenal.
Brazil, who never picked up a booking as a defensive midfielder in the Premier League. That's amazing. Fernandinho does it a lot as well for Man City.
Yes.
Johnson into the box. Virgo's head meets it. This is Lewis for Humberland. Bad touch though. Martin to Johnson, and Lewis redeems himself. Harris into the path of Dallas. Can Dallas keep it in? No, not even he can grab that one back, and Harris bemoans the fact that his own pass was so heavy. Arnett Gardens making another change. Tall man preparing to come in. Number 22 coming out. That's Kemoy slowly. He's had some foot issues. He really hasn't been in the game for the past several minutes. Number 5 coming in. Janoy Cunningham. And still yet, Andrew Price is keeping his powder dry. And at this point, Corey Hilton has gotten up for him and is warming up as if he's intending to enter the fray soon. So no changes for Humberland yet. Arnett have made 3 changes. James forward to Arboin. Cephas gathers it. Looks for options. Doesn't see what he likes, but he goes with the cross nonetheless. One bounce and Dennis Taylor gathers, colliding with his defender, Kemoy Reid, but that's fine. Kevin Reid, big man, crashing into his goalkeeper. So Cunningham stolen, and there's a Humberland man down on the far side, back on the field, and looks to be in some pain. It's Javane Thompson, scorer of their second goal. Corey Hilton getting stripped and ready to enter the fray for Andrew Price's team. So they're going to make their first change anytime now.
Well, Hilton, a goal scorer in their first game against Mount Pleasant, the consolation. So maybe he's hoping that he can bring him the winner.
Yeah, also coming on is the stocky Lorenzo Lewin. He has his paper ready for the 4th official, who's attending to the stricken Javane Thompson. Well, looking at what was happening with Javane Thompson, she's trotted back to her desk and is going to facilitate the substitution now. That's Narissa Goldson. And so 2 men are down. There's an Arnett Gardens man down as well. Oh, he was just replaced. So yeah, it's fine if he's down, no problem. He's off the field. Thompson back up, and he's going to be substituted Javane Thompson. So we've seen Javane Thompson for the last time. Looks as if he will be replaced by Corey Hilton. So number 42 coming in, Hilton. And number 7 coming out, Vishnu Harris has done his job. Chris Taylor, 2 assists for him. And Vishnu Harris's day is done.
Might have been the best player on the park for Humberland. Certainly in terms of what he brought. As I said, vision, 2 assists, his creativity. He's a nuisance to the Arnett Gardens team, his former team.
Yep.
See Javane Thompson coming in, the former Glenmuir and JC man going off. Score of the second goal. Apart from that though, kind of what you would call a wishy-washy second half. Not much from Thompson really. Did get the important goal though, so that has to be noted. But a hot and cold performance.
Franzi looking to hit Dallas. Juma Johnson's header met it. Wild slash by Deacon, but he has another chance to clear. That is blocked as well. And Deacon can't clear despite 3 attempts. Hilton looking rather heavy. Corey Hilton to Lewin, the 2 substitutes combining. Lewin driving forward still. Lorenzo Lewin to Clennon. And the Shandy James was quick, or is quick. Still defending for Arnett. To Cephas. Cephas in a spot of bother though. Roden. Would you say Roden has defended Cephas well? Illegally, and fair and foul means he's used to slow down the Arnett Gardens man.
Yeah, he has done a good job. Cephas hasn't really been in the game. There was one run he attempted, and he's off, in fact.
Yeah, Shadane Lopez coming in for him, number 18. So Lopez in, Cephas out. Shandy James, tugged back by Lorenzo Lewin. It's a free kick to Hornet Gardens. We're in the 81st minute.
Substitution for Hornet Gardens.
Manning Cup winning player Shadane Lopez with Jamaica College, where you went to school.
Number 7, number Cephas.
Neil to Cunningham.
Shadane Lopez.
Cunningham's pass is blocked by Lewin.
Substitution took place in the 80th minute.
Cunningham's long throw, met by Roden, who got up very high. Lewis to Hilton. Hilton's touch not the best, and it comes off the arm of Shandy James, who's upset at the call by referee Crystal Sobers. So Hornet led twice this afternoon. Humberland coming from behind twice. Good resilience shown by Andrew Price's team. And the 2 assists for the Humberland goals provided by the ex-Hornet Gardens man, Vishnu Harris. Hornet looking playing with great urgency in this stage of the game. This is Shandy James. To Willis. To Lopez. Martin. Across to Cunningham. Neil. Oh, Neil gives it away. Cunningham wins it back though. Cunningham puts it in early. This is Arboyne. Under pressure, can't turn Arboyne. Looking for the turn. He goes down now. This is Lopez. The effort is blocked by Gregory Lewis. The Hornet Gardens boys are appealing for a penalty once again, but it's only a corner kick.
Saved him, Lopez. That was going way over the bar had it gone through. And he is left-footed, Shadane Lopez. Not a bad left foot either. Should have done better. This was good work from Kimani Arboyne. Look at how he held up that ball. And I want to tell you, that was a good piece of skill. It nearly came off for him. Because had he gotten back onto that right foot, it might have been trouble. And, well, Deacon was lurking, but never going to get there.
Deacon with the corner kick, though. Bends it into the far post, the back post. Can Lopez keep it in? Yes, he can. Gets support from Willis. Johnson to his right. Gets it now, Juma Johnson. It needs a good cross. It's in. Dennis Taylor catches. Sends it long for the running man. Shamari Dallas to chase and retrieve. Back to Clennon. All the way back to Svanzi. Humberland attacking with numbers. This is Corey Hilton. Hilton, his effort blocked by the sliding Damari Deacon. Martin forward to Lopez. There's a Humberland man down on the far side. Looks to be Dallas, suffering a touch of cramp. And the running man has ceased running for the moment. They say commentators curse. It only happens in cricket, doesn't it? Here is Dallas. And he'll pass the ball, and then the cramp came in right there. The calf just tightened. Yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah. Maybe even hamstring as well. So see him just massaging the back of the right leg. For the amount of running he's done in this game, I can understand him cramping up. The Running Man was a movie, Chris Taylor, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Yeah, where he was in part some game show. Yeah. And there was another famous movie with running in the title, Logan's Run, that had, I wonder if it was Charlton Heston. May have been in it. Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine for that one.
Yeah, Logan's Run.
Certainly
Yeah,
know the Running Man though.
Yeah. So the young man. Oh yeah. Of course, the Running Man is one of the most popular disco dances. Oh,
of
Chris
course.
Taylor, back in your Jerry curl hair days. Oh, well, you didn't need Jerry. You didn't need Jerry to make your hair curl. But I'm just saying. Yeah.
The days when I had hair.
Yes. Bomber jackets and all, and glitter and knuckle dusters and the like.
Yeah. That was a time of Tingle though.
When Tingle was Tinger's head looked like yours
Well,
before locks. Tingler, cameraman viewers, if you're wondering, we're letting you in on the joke. Anyway, we're back to live action. Cunningham has possession for Arnett Gardens. It's Clennon. Clennon gathers. Holds on to it all the way back to Xavier and Virgo, who shares it with Reed, Kevon Reed. Oh, intended for Hilton. Marlon Martin for Arnett Gardens. Here's Damari Deacon. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Needs help though. Working on Murray. Back to Johnson. Cunningham wants it far side. This is Shandy James forward to Lopez. Lopez's touch isn't bad, you know. It doesn't fall for a man in a red and black shirt.
That ball was flicked onto his left foot. I'm wondering if he could have just gone on the volley towards goal instead.
Shandy James for Arnett Gardens. Inside. Lopez's touch is heavy.
Very good pass in his schoolboy days. Shandy James with Clarendon College. The Arnett Gardens number 11 substitute. Is he one of those who have fooled you as well, George?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Homeland make a change. Number 20 coming in for number 29. So Dallas is done for the day, being replaced by Norland Beckford.
Yeah. He's no longer the running man.
Nah. Even the running man has run out of steam. James bursting forward around Gregory Lewis's tackle and deemed to have been fouled, says the Crystal Sobers. So Arnett have this free kick in the 87th minute. Sobers marking out the exact place that Willis is to take this free kick from. And Arnett Gardens have sent 6 men into the box. Cunningham, one of their taller players. Himself and Earl Simpson, the tallest of the Arnett Gardens men on the pitch. Both of them in the box. Well, Simpson just outside. And Willis, the other tall fellow, he's the one taking this free kick. It's a 3-man wall. 88th minute. What can Willis do from this free kick for Arnett Gardens? Giovanni Willis! Low! And it did miss the right-hand post by much. That was traveling. That was hit very, very hard. And goalkeeper Dennis Taylor relieved to see it whistle by his right-hand post.
Good power generated by Willis. Didn't come very far off the ground. That shows a pace shooting across the surface. And Taylor was close to his far post. I guess if you ask him, he would say that I would have gotten a glove on that had that been inside, but it was well kicked by Willis. Much better than his last attempt. Certainly not a man for finesse, Willis.
Nah, brute force.
Yes. Instead driver.
Hilton off the arm. The play continues. Referee Price, or goalkeeper Price rather, out quickly together. Willis loses out to Roden. Clennon though has come deep to help build the play for Cumberland, and he played it in the wrong area. Norland Beckford couldn't find it as he ran. Shandy James under pressure from Clennon. Beckford stepped on the ball and fell on it. Clennon goes down holding his face, and Shandy James will go into the book.
Yeah, James a bit frustrated because Clennon was annoying him, but that's the experience of Clennon there. And James threw an arm, and maybe he's lucky that the colour is yellow. But this is the experience here of Andre Clennon. Just understanding how to get under the skin of the Arnett Gardens players. You have seen he has a smile there now, so bothering Shandy James all along, just niggling, and then hits him in the chest. There was not much of an arm actually by James. Here you see it. And this was a bit earlier. Then he rushes in. He tugs the shirt of James. And yeah. James was initially fouled by Clennon, but he just shows the trickery to get away from it, Clennon.
Nobody from Humberland wanted to take this free kick. They were all walking away from it. Eventually, Roden decides to take it. And he puts it into the box, met by the head of Cunningham. Out for Arnott. Arboin to Lopez. Lopez looks for support. Back to Cunningham. Shandy James. Momentum lost for Arnott Gardens. Cunningham to Willis. Lopez kicked by Roden, who seems to have injured himself in the process. And the fourth official showing 4 minutes to be added at the end of the 90. So we're into that 4-minute block. Taylor sends this downfield. Both teams playing as if they're accepting the draw, Chris, or?
No, I think both teams will push. I don't think they'll overcommit though.
Yeah. Murray back to Hilton. Hilton flips it up because he wants to change the play. Good bit of football from Corey Hilton and bad bit of football from Norland Beckford. Let it run beneath his foot. Turns over possession to Arnott Gardens. Willis.
This game has lived up to your average though, George. You said 3 a game, we have 4.
Yes, sir.
And maybe 1 more.
Deacon.
So it'll be the second 2-all draw for Humber Lion this season.
Yep. Arboin under pressure from Reed, but wins it and gets away from Lewis. Across to Lopez. What can he do? Lopez comes in on the right foot, on the left foot, or into the box to Arboin. Arboin on the turn, blocked by Xavier Virgo, who stuck to him like a shadow. This is Willis. Roden is injured, goes down Willis. Into space for Shandy James. What can he provide? Shandy James turned away by Vanzi. Humberland under some pressure. Beckford to Lewis. Lewis back to Virgo. Virgo upfield looking for Clennon. Cunningham and Clennon colliding. And referee Crystal Sobers calls a halt to proceedings because Roden is down hurt for Humberland. Arboin and Deacon having a discussion for Arnott Gardens. And Roden is back up. Well, no, he's still down. I think Humberland will have to make a change to see out the remainder of this game, whatever is left of it. The man is getting stripped on that far side. Meanwhile, Rademakers, even with the mask, you can see that he's pensive.
He wants to chew the nails through the mask.
Stretcher is on for young Roden. Happy to report that he's up on his feet though.
Yeah. So is Bigger Thompson.
Yeah.
He was sitting for most of the game, but obviously critical moments, crucial moments here, and as a former captain, defender, leader, everything.
Yes.
This is a tense moment. Can't afford to concede this late in the game.
Yeah, something seems seriously wrong with Roden though. He's doubled over walking off the field. Look at him. The young man seems to be in pain, getting some treatment to the left hamstring. The ice being applied there, and he'll take no further part in this game. Shamar Roden. Replaced by number 18, Kemar Mullings. So Price gets us back on the way. We're going to have a little bit of time added to the 4 extra, you would think, because of the stoppage for Roden's treatment. Clennon comes back to help out his defense. Lewis sends it out, and here they come again, Arnott Gardens. James to Cunningham. Forward to Arboin. Virgo got a piece of it. Hilton to Lewin. Lewin for Humberland. He can run, he has space. Juma Johnson meets him though for Arnott Gardens. Around to Arboin. Arboin in a crowded area. Kimani Arboin loses out. Deacon disappointed. Tight game. Stilton forward, and Price comes and he collects. And the Willis to Deacon. Deacon into the path of a Juma Johnson. Can Arnott Garden strike late and strike decisively? Johnson works on Murray. Johnson onto the left, but the cross comes in. Turned away off the chest of Clennon, who was in his 18-yard box. And Crystal Sobers has seen enough. Arnott Garden's on humble line. We can't separate them at the finish. 2-2.